Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is September 29th, 2024, and Barcelona remain La Liga's leaders after both Real Madrid and Atletico de Madrid dropped points today. Also, the committee of referees have officially accepted that Osasuna's second goal should have been disallowed because it was indeed a foul against Pau Victor. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. And before we begin with the news, just a quick reminder to make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. All of this helps this channel continue to grow. Also, if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure to hit the Goal Kits, Kickback, or Fanatics. And if you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure you hit the Bet Us. All links are down below in the description. Now, begin this video with the news that today Real Madrid and Atletico de Madrid drew 1-1 at the Wanda Metropolitana, and therefore both teams drop points, which means that, ladies and gentlemen, FC Barcelona are still at the top of La Liga's table despite losing yesterday against Osasuna and dropping 3 points. But as you can see on the screen, Barcelona are still in first place with 21 points. Real Madrid right behind them with 18 points. And then you have Atletico Madrid, Athletic Club de Bilbao, Mallorca, Villarreal. But the good news is that Barcelona are still in first place and they are 3 points ahead of second place, which are Real Madrid, after the Madrid derby ended in a draw. Now, speaking of the Osasuna match yesterday, since I did mention it, the committee of referees has confirmed that Osasuna's second goal should have been disallowed due to a foul against Pau Victor. Now, this happened around the 28th minute where Pau Victor lost the ball to Lucas Toro. And as you can see on the screen, the ball loss was as a result of Lucas stepping on Pau Victor's foot. Of course, the ball ended up at Brian Zaragoza's feet, who, dribbled past Iñaki Peña and was able to score Osasuna's second goal. Of course, Barcelona players, including even Hansi Flick himself, complained that that was a foul, that the referee should have gone to the VAR. But of course, the referee did not even bother to go to the VAR. The VAR didn't even bother to call the referee. The goal was allowed, but now the committee of referees have voted unanimously that this was indeed a foul, that the goal should have been disallowed, and it's reported that the committee of referees will have a discussion with the VAR referee, Pizarro Gomez, for not calling the referee on the field. And I have to say, I'm getting very, very sick and tired of these calls or their mistaken calls, because these things should not be happening in the age of VAR. Now I get it. The referee on the field could have missed it. He's human. He makes mistakes. Not all of us, can see everything that's going on at the same time, especially when you're refereeing a match where there's 11 players versus 11 players. There's a lot to keep track of. I get it. He could have missed it. But what the hell is the VAR for? La Liga have spent millions on the VAR, implementing all these high-tech cameras and screens and trained referees and trained people to use it for what? What's the point of the VAR if it cannot catch something so simple as Pau Victor getting his foot stepped on? I mean, that's what the VAR for, with all that technology, being able to zoom in, zoom out, look at different angles, speed it up, slow it down, and they couldn't even see this. This took me 3 seconds to do a screenshot of the foul. 3 seconds, and you're telling me a multi-million-dollar technology couldn't catch that? I mean, this is absolutely absurd, and it has no place in modern football, especially in the VAR age, especially since the VAR did happen to catch this. Remember this? When Koundé stepped on another player's foot, Barcelona scored a goal, and that goal was disallowed because VAR went to check it. So my question is, why couldn't VAR catch Pau Victor's fault, foul. Absolutely unacceptable, and it proves what John Laporta has been saying for quite some time, that there's definitely a double standard in La Liga as far as refereeing, and these mistakes are very, very costly, and they have no place in the VAR age, and I'm getting very sick and tired of it, and I hope Barcelona takes matters into their own hands, because this is absolutely ridiculous. Now, speaking of the match against Osasuna, I do want to address something real quick and then I'll end the video. But I saw a lot of hysteria yesterday after Barcelona lost at the hands of Osasuna 4-2, with people freaking out. I saw even some people on social media saying flick out, which is absolute insanity. So I do want to say one thing about the match, and I did say something similar to this in the post-match live analysis. If you already saw the post-match live analysis, you can go ahead and just turn off the video. It's pretty much going to be repetitive. But if you haven't, because I know a lot of people don't watch the post-match live analysis because they prefer shorter content, I will say this. Yesterday's defeat was 100% the fault of Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick rotated, he did it in an incorrect manner, and as a result, the team did not work out, and Barcelona lost. Now, I do not blame Hansi Flick for rotating players, because rotations are needed. Players need to be rotated, players need to be rested. Otherwise, you risk them getting injured, including serious injuries like a torn ACL, which, as you have seen, it can take a player out for an entire year. Why? Because when a muscle is exhausted, when a muscle is fatigued, it cannot work at 100%. And when a muscle is not working or functioning at 100%, it cannot absorb all the impact from a sport at 100%. So that impact that doesn't get absorbed by the exhausted or fatigued muscle starts getting absorbed by the tendons. And after time of getting impacted over and over again, tendons break and players get injured for a very, very long time. So players need to be rotated. Otherwise, you risk them getting seriously injured. And of course, I don't blame Flick for rotations, because I would rather not have Lamine Yamal for one match against Osasuna and have him for the rest of the season versus having Lamine Yamal against Osasuna and then not have him for a year because he tore his ACL and was not rotated. So I don't blame Flick for rotations. However, what I do blame Hansi Flick for is how he rotated, because he rotated excessively, and as a result, the team did not work out. Now, I don't think this mistake started yesterday in the match against Osasuna. I think this was a mistake that started all the way back from the first day of the season, because there were a lot of matches where Barcelona won by big margins, 7 goals, 5 goals, 4 goals. And those matches were already won by the 60th minute. And yet, players like Lamine, players like Rafinha, players like Iñigo Martinez played the entire 90 minutes when there was no need for that. Those players could have easily been subbed out at the 60th minutes to give them rest, because those matches were already won. So I think that's where the mistake happened, because what happened against Osasuna is that Flick arrived at match day with a team that he realized was exhausted and therefore had to rotate heavily. And that's why it didn't work out, because we had 4 starters and 7 substitutes on the field. That's a whole new squad. That is a completely different squad. Those are players that had never played together. Those are players that have not developed that chemistry together. They don't know how to read each other's movements. They don't know how to interpret each other's body language. It was a completely new squad, and as a result, the team imploded. The team did not work out. The defensive line did not work out. The midfield did not work out. The attacking line did not work out. So that was 100% Hansi Flick's fault. I don't think a single player can be blamed for yesterday's defeat. Simply the entire team did not work out because Flick did not rotate the right way. Now, I really hope that Hansi Flick learned from this mistake, because rotation need to continue happening throughout the season, and Flick is going to have to do them in a correct manner. So I hope Flick learned from this. Now, having said all of that, I really hope that yesterday's defeat was a reality check for many fans, because I was seeing people talking about Barcelona winning the treble and Barcelona winning the Champions League and Barcelona being the best team in the world right now. I hope yesterday was a reality check, because what I've been saying for quite some time is that you need to calm down, you need to be patient, because this is a new project. There's going to be ups and downs, and mistakes are going to be made. And yesterday was a perfect example of that. A mistake was made. That's what happens in new projects. Any coach that takes over a project is going to make mistakes. They're going to try things out. Sometimes those things will work. Other times, those things are not gonna work. That's how a coach learns. That's how a coach learns what to do, because they tried that thing, it worked out, so they kept on doing it. And the things that they don't do is because they tried them out, they didn't work out, so they stopped doing it. Every project has mistakes. Every project has ups and downs. This is not gonna be the last mistake either. We're gonna see more of that. So please, guys, be patient. This is going to happen. So stop expecting Barcelona to win a treble and win the Champions League. I'm not saying that's not possible. That could still happen. After all, Flick did win a sextuple in his first season as Bayern Munich's manager. But to expect that, to demand that, is absolutely delusional. So I hope yesterday was a reality check, and I hope you realize this is going to happen. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be mistakes happen. It's impossible to avoid mistakes. In fact, you want mistakes to happen because mistakes are your best teacher, and that's how the team is going to learn. That's how the team is going to improve. Get better is by making those mistakes. Now, in 1, 2, 3 seasons, mistakes are still being done, made the same exact mistakes, and the team is not improving. Then that's a whole separate conversation. But to talk about, absolute hysteria and flick out after one mistake, I think we need to all calm down. And for those of you who say flick out, I recommend a different hobby. Not even a different sport, a different hobby. Because if you think that a project can be built overnight and a project is not gonna make any mistakes, then you don't know how the sports team works. So I recommend video games where you can make things happen with a click of a button instantaneously. In real life, that is not how it works. Anyways, that is all for this video. I did upload another video a few moments ago. So don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. And as always, Visca Barça.